Hi, welcome to this webinar funded by the Be Well, Feel Well partnership, focusing on emotional well-being in the community. This month's theme is sleep, tips for rest and recharge. It's suitable for families and it's an exploration of good sleep hygiene, the impacts of disturbed sleep, and it links to other conditions. We hope to give you a better understanding of why teenagers sleep so much and how we can promote sleep for all of us. The content of this webinar looks at the importance of sleep. My name's Jolene and I work for the YMCA as a mental health trainer and a counsellor. The YMCA is a registered charity and a holder of a trusted charity mark. Therefore, training with us also serves to provide support to young people in the wider community. Our passion is helping young people achieve their potential by empowering those who work with them. By attending our training or commissioning our mental health services, you and your organisation help support our projects and services. Remember, no question is too small. So if you do have any questions after watching this webinar, please email them to us. And there's no such thing as silly question in my mind, so please do ask. So some webinar guidelines. So we ask you to have a non-judgmental and accepting attitude and have in mind yourself. Don't berate yourself at all. In this webinar, we will cover the following topics: circadian rhythms, effects of poor sleep, physical and mental health impact, common and chronic sleep problems and causes, how your mental health impacts your sleep, helping your child sleep, why teenagers need more sleep, and tips to improve your sleep and relaxation aids. We sleep for up to 1/3 of our lives. Koalas sleep for about 20 to 22 hours each day, and dolphins can sleep with half a brain at a time. Throughout your time asleep, your brain will cycle repeatedly through 2 different types of sleep: REM, which is rapid eye movement sleep, and non-REM sleep. The first part of the cycle is non-REM sleep, which is composed of 4 stages. The first stage comes between being awake and falling asleep. The second is light sleep, and the heart rate and breathing regulate and the body temperature drops. The third and fourth stages are deep sleep. New data suggests that non-REM sleep is important for learning and memory, as well as being the more restful and restorative phase of sleep. As you cycle into REM sleep, the eyes move rapidly behind closed lids and brain waves are similar to those during wakefulness. Breath rate increases and the body becomes temporarily paralysed as we dream. The cycle then repeats itself, but with each cycle you spend less time in the deeper stage 3 and 4 of sleep and more time in REM sleep. On a typical night, you cycle through 4 or 5 times. So what helps us to fall asleep? Exhaustion and circadian rhythms. Circadian rhythms are 24-hour cycles that are part of your body's internal clock running in the background, carrying out essential processes and functions. The sleep-wake cycle is the most important and well-known circadian rhythm. Different systems of the body follow different circadian rhythms that are synchronized with a biological clock in the brain. This internal clock is directly influenced by environmental cues, especially light, which is why circadian rhythms are tied to the cycle day and night. When our circadian rhythms are properly aligned, then they can promote restorative sleep. But when they are thrown off, it can create significant sleep problems, including insomnia. During the day, light exposure causes the internal clock to send signals that generate alertness and help keep us awake and active. As night falls, the internal clock initiates the production of melatonin, a hormone that promotes sleep and then keeps transmitting signals that help us stay asleep through the night. The effects of poor sleep. There are many ill effects of poor sleep. Disturbed sleep-wake circadian rhythm can give rise to serious sleep problems. Without the proper signaling from the body's internal clock, a person can have difficulty falling asleep, wake up more often throughout the night, or be unable to sleep as long as they want to in the morning. Their total sleep can be reduced, and a disrupted circadian rhythm can also mean shallower, fragmented, and lower quality sleep. The effects of poor sleep are far-reaching. There is a link to poor sleep and mental health, and vice versa. Poor mental health can lead to poor sleep. It is likely that all of us at one point or another have experienced the frustration of being unable to switch off and go to sleep, or falling asleep easily only to wake a few hours later and struggling to get back to sleep. When this becomes a nightly occurrence, you might begin to start dreading going to bed. Sleep contributes significantly to health. Let's have a look at the link between mental health and physical health. There's a huge link between mental health and physical health. If you have poor physical health, then you are more at risk of developing poor mental health and vice versa. 1 in 3 people with a long-term physical health condition also suffer with mental health difficulties, the most common being depression and anxiety. So if our sleep affects our mental health, it's likely to affect our physical health. Lack of sleep can quickly lead you into a vicious cycle, and it's hard to get out of it. Looking after your sleep helps both your mental and physical health. So some hints that you need more sleep. You might find yourself snapping at others for things that wouldn't normally bother you. You may experience fatigue during the day, perhaps brain fog, low energy. You might have headaches and find yourself snacking a lot during the day to keep yourself going. Balanced sleep is really important for good mental health. The balance between quantity and quality, you can't just catch up. Balanced sleep is getting between 7 to 9 hours, depends on the individual, sleep per night to help the body, brain to do what it needs to do to heal, grow, detox, and process. In turn, this helps to reduce stress, keeps your heart healthy, and your blood sugar levels consistent. Sleep can be a useful self-care tool for when you just need a break to get away from your thoughts and the situation from a bit. However, watch it doesn't shift into avoidance and low motivation. When we can't sleep, it can feel scary, anxiety-provoking, as well as exhausting. In these situations, resting is the next best thing. That's lying with your eyes closed, let your thoughts drift. It all helps your muscles relax, slows your heart rate, and lets your blood pressure drop. So the recommended hours of sleep per 24 hours. So sleep can include unstimulated, like uninterrupted rest. So school age, 6 to 12 years need 9 to 12 hours, teens 8 to 10 hours, and adults 7 or more. So common and chronic sleep problems. Insomnia is the most common sleep disorder, affecting around 1 in 5 people. You may have insomnia if you find it hard to go to sleep, wake up several times during the night, or wake up too early. During the day, you may feel sleepy, anxious, irritable, and unable to concentrate or remember things. Narcolepsy can cause you to suddenly fall asleep at inappropriate times. It's caused by the brain being unable to regulate your sleeping and waking patterns. If you have narcolepsy, you may feel very drowsy throughout the day and fall asleep suddenly and without warning, for example, while at work, talking, or driving. There is no cure, but the symptoms can be controlled by medication and by lifestyle adjustments, such as changing your sleep routine, improving your diet, and exercise. Sleep apnea is when your breathing stops and starts while you are sleeping. When this happens, your sleep is constantly interrupting, so you never feel rested. People with sleep apnea often snore loudly or make gasping or choking noises while you sleep. You will feel very tired during the day and find it hard to concentrate. You will likely have mood swings due to the lack of rest and may have a headache on waking. Losing weight and sleeping on your side can help with mild sleep apnea. You can also be prescribed special devices to help keep your airways open during sleeping. So the common causes of sleep problems, I'm going to put them up, but this list is not exhaustive. Some of the common causes of sleep problems are stress, anxiety and worry, too much caffeine, alcohol, or stimulants, shift work, depression, other mental health diagnoses, side effects of medication, physical health conditions, and a change of routine. So they're common causes. So stress and anxiety and worry could be that we are laying in bed and we've got a lot of thoughts going around in our head, we can't relax our bodies, we can't switch off. Caffeine, they recommend that you stop drinking caffeine after 12 lunchtime. Shift work obviously is going to knock out your rhythm. And then physical health as well. So if you can't exercise and move energy out of your body, I'm sure there's plenty more that we could add to that list. So how does mental health impact sleep? Anxiety can cause you to have racing thoughts. This can make it difficult to fall asleep or upon waking fall back to sleep. Anxiety triggers the release of the stress chemical cortisol, which in turn leaves you feeling restless. So we'll discuss ways to help prevent this later in the presentation. Depression can lead to oversleeping, such as sleeping in late or sleeping a lot during the day. If you're having trouble in thoughts, this can cause insomnia. And then PTSD may cause you to have nightmares or night terrors. These may wake you up, or you may have trouble falling asleep or falling back to sleep once you've woken, or you may feel anxious about going to sleep as well, just in case it happens again. Mania, where you can feel very elated and energetic, so makes it harder to fall asleep, or you wake up very early and you're ready to start the day early, like a lot earlier than you normally would. And then if you're taking any medication as well, it can have side effects that affect sleep. So how can you improve your sleep? So you can avoid napping. So napping during the day can make sleep more difficult at night. Naps of over an hour long or later in the day are especially harmful to sleep. So sometimes just a 10-minute nap can be helpful, but as long as it's not too late in the day. Prioritizing managing your physical symptoms. For example, if you have a blocked up nose or you have a slight headache before going to bed, then make sure that you deal with that minor physical problem as a priority so that they don't interfere with getting a good night's sleep. And then make sure your bedroom is comfortable and peaceful. Ensure there's adequate, quiet, cool, and dark. And then use whatever you need to achieve this. So that could be an eye mask, a fan, perhaps playing white noise, having thick curtains. So do what you need to make your bedroom comfortable and peaceful. And more tips to help improve. Turn off the screens. So the blue light that's emitted from phones, computers, TVs and other screens can disrupt the body's natural sleep rhythm and make you feel more awake. The backlit blue light displays suppress melatonin production. Melatonin is the hormone that helps you sleep. The suppression of melatonin causes sleep disruption. You should stop using these devices 2 hours before you go to sleep to reduce their impact on your sleeping. It is better to watch TV, check social media and eat in a different room. So when you go to bed, you are relaxing and you're getting ready to sleep. You're kind of signaling to your body. Be mindful of the presence of screens and gadgets in your bedroom. Use your bed only for sleep. When your body associates your bed with calming activities, you're more likely to feel tired when you lie down. Using your phone, eating or working in bed can have the opposite effect, causing your body to associate your bed with wakefulness or even stress. Don't force yourself to sleep. If you haven't fallen asleep after 20 minutes, get out of bed and do something calming like reading, journaling or drawing. But remember, avoid screens or anything stimulating. Don't lay in bed worrying about not being able to get to sleep. Try reading for a bit and going back to bed when you are sleepy. Eat a balanced diet, so eating fruit and vegetables. There's a lot of research to show that a balanced and varied diet of fruit and vegetables, whole grains and low-fat proteins can improve your sleep. Avoid drinking caffeine after 12 p.m. so it has time to leave your system. Stick to a sleep routine. A sleep routine is vital when it comes to good sleep hygiene. Keeping a sleep journal can be a good idea to see what is working and not working for you. Perhaps there are patterns in your day or events coming up that are affecting your sleep. Using a journal to record your thoughts can help if you have a busy mind. And then keeping a gratitude journal can help you focus on the small positive experiences of the day. This is particularly helpful if you are experiencing anxiety or low mood, even if it's a tiny glimmer of hope in the day, such as the sun shining, a bird singing, a smile of a child, the blossom on the trees. It may sound obvious, but light, noise and temperature all make a difference to a good night's sleep. Think about wearing eye masks if your bedroom is too light and stopping you falling asleep or sleeping longer. What background noise is going on around you? If you've got a ticking clock, maybe, that you could take out of the room. Make any changes you can control or think about investing in some earplugs. Temperature is important, especially if you share a bed with somebody. You may have different sleep needs, so think about separate blankets or making other choices, so you are both well rested. And then there are foods and drinks that help and hinder. Some foods can produce chemicals that help us sleep, such as rice, oats, and dairy products. And others that hinder are the obvious, such as caffeine, but also high sugar foods and drinks are likely to give you more energy, but they do not promote a good night's sleep. Or as your body's working so hard to digest foods over the night, you may wake up feeling a lot more tired. So like if you eat a big meal quite close to bedtime, you might wake up feeling tired because through the night your body's trying to digest that food. So avoid eating big meals mid-evening because it can prevent a good night's sleep. And whilst alcohol can make you feel sleepy, it hinders a good night's sleep, and you're likely to wake up in the night as the effect begins to wear off. You may need to go to the toilet, or you might wake up dehydrated. So some things you can try are progressive muscle relaxation. This helps relieve tension, distracts the brain, and calms the nervous system. So you can do this by bringing your awareness to your feet. And what you might like to do is, you can try this now, is gently squeeze them and take an inhalation. And as you exhale, relax and let your muscles go. And then bringing your awareness to your legs, squeezing your muscles in your legs, breathe in. And breathe out, relaxing the muscles down. So we'll do this all through your body. So you would come to your sit bones next, your back, your tummy, your arms, your hands, your shoulders, your face. So each time you squeeze tight and you breathe in, and then as you breathe out, you want to relax the muscles down. So you can occupy your brain with simple repetitive tasks. The alphabet with each letter a different colour, or watching imaginary tennis or sheep. These techniques work through repetition. Grounding exercises, if you are experiencing anxiety or intrusive thoughts, grounding exercises can help. So grounding brings you back to the room and back to your body. Grounding exercises can help lower anxiety or the effects of nightmares or flashbacks. There are various different grounding techniques to use. One is noticing your feet on the ground, gently padding them up and down, and then kind of notice any feelings or sensations. Where you might like to kind of rub them on the carpet, or you could squeeze your feet. You could take a barefoot walk outside and connect your feet to the feeling of the grass on the ground. You can do a mindfulness exercise known as the 5-4-3-2-1. So that's like, you can mentally say to yourself, 5 things that you can see, 4 things you can touch, 3 things you can hear, 2 things you can smell, or 1 thing you can taste. So if you can't taste anything, think about the last drink that you had, or if you've brushed your teeth before going to bed, or the last meal that you've had. Okay, you can have a relaxing bath. So you might find that having a bath before bed helps to calm your nervous system down from the day's events. It'll take some time for you to practice your self-care and get yourself into a good headspace before going to bed. You could try relaxing aromatherapy oils such as lavender. And if you don't have a bath, you could try giving yourself like a hand massage with some almond oil or olive oil with lavender in, a foot massage. There's all sorts of things you can do, kind of like a face massage, head massage. And then breathing and yoga nidras are useful. So having a longer out breath can also be really helpful for starting to calm the nervous system down. And then noticing your breath as well. So not trying to change it, but just noticing it coming in through the nose and leaving through the nose or mouth. Yoga nidras, you can find them on YouTube. Look them up, they're really helpful. And there are also some great apps as well. So there's Headspace app, which maybe you've heard of or not, but it's brilliant, and it's a free app that uses meditation and breathing exercises to help manage mental health, relaxation and sleep. Headspace is a good place to start if you'd like to get into good habits, as it sends prompts throughout the day to remind you to take a breather as well. There's another app called the Balance app as well, which also has meditations on there. So I would say check them out and see what works for you. So we're going to move on to why your child needs sleep. Sleep is crucial for your child's mental and physical health. But if you're having difficulty getting your child to sleep, you are not alone. In addition to having a direct effect on happiness, research shows that sleep impacts alertness and attention, cognitive performance, mood, resilience, vocabulary, acquisition, and learning and memory. In toddlers, napping appears to be necessary for memory consolidation, executive attention, and motor skill development. Sleep also has an important effect on growth, especially in early infancy. So some tips to help your child sleep, and they can also help us as adults as well. So put them up there on the slide. So sleep needs change as your child grows older. But whether you are dealing with a 2-year-old toddler or a stubborn teenager, research shows that having a consistent bedtime routine is helpful for making sure your child does get enough sleep. Whatever activities you choose, try to do the same ones every day in the same order so your child knows what to expect. So create a bedtime routine. It's actually something you can create together if your child's old enough to. And it might look something like turning off computers, TVs or screens, video games and other bright lights, as we said before, 2 hours before bedtime. Having a warm bath with favourite toys and smells. Using a sleepy cream. Maybe you have, you could do like a relaxing infant massage as well. Always check in with your child first, like, may I give you a massage? And then use softer lighting in the house to promote relaxation. Use calming music and talk in a soft voice. Get into cozy pajamas and brush teeth. Snuggle up and read a bedtime story. And pick a favourite teddy or security blanket. The best time to put your child to bed is when they're sleepy, not when they're already asleep. This helps them learn how to fall asleep on their own. If your preschooler wakes in the night, gently walk them back to their bed. And everybody will have their own ways of doing this. So you do what feels right for your family. You can communicate with your child what happens if they wake in the night so they know what to expect. If you wake up in the night and you come through, I'm going to gently walk you back to your bed. But having clear guidelines about clear guidelines with your child about where they're going to sleep. So tonight you sleep in your bed and you stay there. And even if you wake up in the night, and if I need to, I will sleep on the floor. Or tonight, you can sleep in my bed all night. So they know they've got clear guidance on what's happening. So there will always be exceptions. However, the goal is to prevent moving beds in the middle of the night and to learn how to get back to sleep. Daytime habits affect your nighttime sleep. You can promote a restful night's sleep by trying the following. Arrange a balanced schedule of activity and rest during the day. Don't fall into the trap of wearing them out in the day. And you know, the saying, or wear them out, then they're asleep at night. But actually, the result is that they end up being overtired, making it harder for them to switch off and fall asleep. So learn to recognize that when your toddler becomes hyper, it actually means they've tipped over into being overtired. So think about getting them to bed sooner before it all turns sour. Keep a regular bedtime routine. Make the bedroom peaceful. Provide a healthy diet. Set the temperature to slightly cooler. Use dark or blackout curtains or a nightlight if they're afraid of the dark. And avoid snacking at bedtime or large meals late at night. So sleep tips for babies, because they have yet to develop a circadian rhythm. Very young babies rarely sleep through the night, and that's okay. If they don't fall back to sleep naturally, try soothing them by talking or with touch without picking them up. If they continue to cry, they may be hungry or need their diapers changed. Quickly and quietly fix the problem using only a nightlight if possible, and calmly leave the room. Young toddlers have a sleep schedule supplemented by 2 naps a day. By giving them control over minor choices like which pajamas to wear at bedtime, then you're helping them also, they're starting to learn their nose. You're helping to give them like a bit of control. What pajamas are you going to wear? What book would you like to read? Being patient with them and firm, yet loving, because the power struggles are likely to elicit a stronger response from them. So getting them involved and letting them have a little bit of autonomy can be helpful. For school children, between the academic, social and extracurricular obligations, school-age children often have really busy schedules, and that can make it difficult to get a good night's sleep. So wherever it's possible, try to follow a consistent schedule and a wind down period before bed to strengthen the association between the bedroom and sleep. Have them do their homework or other activities in another room where possible. So sleep tips for teenagers. Teenagers are programmed to have a later circadian rhythm, which can create a problem with school start times. You can help your teenager by acknowledging the increased demands on their time and working together to find a healthy sleep schedule that works with their lifestyle. Teenagers appear to imitate their parents to a certain extent when it comes to sleeping. So one of the best things you can do to help them develop a healthy sleep pattern is to keep one yourself. So you're modeling. The morning is important too, though it's tempting to let your kids sleep in on the weekends. This can disrupt their sleep schedule and make it harder to wake up during the week. Try not to overschedule extracurricular activities. If you notice these are having a detrimental effect on their sleep time, think about curbing them or shortening them, changing them. So why do teenagers need more sleep? It's essential for physical and mental development. Teenagers need between 8 to 10 hours of sleep per night, but research shows that is not the case for most. They're not getting that. However, everyone is different, and some may need more and others less. Substantial physical development happens in the teenage years, which can be negatively affected by lack of sleep. Sleep benefits the brain and promotes attention, memory, and analytical thought. Sleep facilitates expansive thinking and creativity. Lack of sleep can harm academic performance. Teens that do not get enough sleep suffer drowsiness and lack of attention. Prolonged sleep loss can negatively affect emotional development. We have seen that lack of sleep affects our mood, making us more irritable and snappy, with increased relational conflict. Sleep-deprived teens are more likely to report anxiety, depression, and suicidal thought behaviours. Improving sleep may play a role in preventing and managing these mental health problems. Sleep contributes to the effective function of nearly every system in the body. It empowers the immune system, regulates hormones, and enables muscle and tissue recovery. Decision-making and risky behaviour. Sleep deprivation can affect the frontal lobe, the part of the brain that's required for impulse control. There are numerous studies that show teens who do not get enough sleep are more likely to engage in risky behaviour, such as drink driving, riding a bike without a helmet, failing to use a seatbelt, and drug and alcohol abuse, sexual behaviour, fighting, etc. These behaviours can put their lives at risk and affect their academic performance. Accidents and injuries. Insufficient sleep can make teenagers accident prone. The particular concern is around driving. So due to lack of experience, there's an elevated risk of accidents. Studies show that drowsy driving can have a similar reaction delays as drink driving. So why is it hard for teens to get a good night's sleep? There's several reasons, such as they are night owls. Adolescents have a strong tendency to develop into night owls. There are some reasons for this. The main reasons are, first, they have a sleep cycle that builds more slowly. So they don't start to get tired until later in the evening. And secondly, their bodies start producing melatonin later in the day. So as I said before, melatonin is the body's sleep hormone. So with this in mind, if teenagers could go to sleep according to their sleep cycle, they would likely get between 8 and 10 hours a night. They'd go to sleep around 11 p.m. and they'd wake between 8 and 9. However, due to the school start times, they have to wake up between 6 and 7. It's the average waking time. And because of their biological sleep wake cycle, they aren't able to fall asleep before 11 p.m. So they simply cannot get their 8 to 10 hours of sleep per night. Many teenagers have a busy schedule with work, schoolwork, chores, homework, and outside activities. So with so much to fit in, many teens don't allocate enough time to sleep. And they're busy catching up with friends, and they may end up doing their homework late at night. Additionally, there is the pressure to succeed, which is causing a lot of stress, which in turn leads to sleep problems, as we've already seen earlier. Many teens have at least one electronic device in their bedroom, such as a mobile phone or tablet. So screen time late into the evening can cause sleep problems, and incoming notifications can disrupt sleep. There is evidence to suggest, as I said earlier, that the blue light emitted from the mobile phone suppresses the release of melatonin. And then, of course, we have neurodevelopment disorders such as ADHD and autism that can affect sleep. So studies show a lack of sleep can make symptoms more pronounced. Parents, carers can help their teens get better sleep. So you could talk to your teenager about their sleep pattern and help them to create a good sleep hygiene plan. You can work with your teenager so they avoid overscheduling and help them to balance commitment that generates stress, and that with maintaining a good sleep schedule. And you could advocate for later start times at school. Studies show that later start times for teens have improved academic performance and less absence from school. So let's have a look at the link. Excuse me. So the summary is, we've looked at the effects of poor sleep, physical and mental health impacts, common and chronic sleep problems, helping your child sleep, why teenagers need more sleep, and tips to improve your sleep, and then relaxation aids. Thank you for listening to this webinar. We do hope that you have found some good hints and tips of how to improve your sleep, and we appreciate your feedback. So please click on the link, just scan the code, the QR code here with your camera and complete a very quick survey for us. We hope you enjoyed it, and the future webinars that are coming are community and stigma, privacy and boundaries, and attention. So Keep Your Head is a useful one-stop website developed by Cambridgeshire and Peterborough children and young people, and it is well worth a visit. So I do advise you to look at that. And here we have a list of services, training and clinical services that we offer at the YMCA. And the links to our references. So thank you very much for listening to this sleep webinar, and I hope you have found it helpful.